And Solana is built on meme coins. So what is the story at the moment?
Crypto is based on meme.
Okay.
I think you're just jealous, actually.
Absolutely.
If you want to understand how blockchain is going to change the world, you really have to think in a much more fundamental way than looking at the latest meme coin or NFT, right? That's not going to get you anywhere.
Welcome back to Blockchain Pill. My name is Alex, and today we're gonna have a look at this video of Dominic Williams taking part in this panel here, talking about how blockchains are reshaping our world. And I think we can all agree that the Internet Computer Protocol is the one blockchain that actually has the potential to reshape our world. Let's find out more about this panel. So this was in Davos at WEF24. Dominic is joined on this panel by the co-founder of Hedera, also by the president of Solana, the CTO of Casper Labs, and of course, Dominic himself. So it's gonna be an interesting discussion, and we'll actually start with Dominic here. So let's give it a shot.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Lehman. Last but not least, Dom, we have WEF24 Foundation here, but you got a bigger name for it, the Internet Computer. Tell us about you and the Internet Computer, please.
Yeah, that's the network. So I'm best summarized as what you might call an engineering entrepreneur. So I've been building various technologies for a long time. I think I first started coding about 43 years ago now, which is a long time. And I sort of got wind of the whole Bitcoin thing, or what led to it. In probably like 1999, I was using a library called Crypto++ by a guy called Wei Dai. If you went to his website to get the cryptography library, there was a paper called B-Money, and he described ideas, which are like antecedents to proof of work and things like that. But I didn't really understand it at the time, and the last thing I did before crypto was a kid's sort of MMO game. 3 million users, but I got pulled into crypto in sort of 2013 and obsessed by, what was going on with Bitcoin and so on. And by the end of that year, I started trying to build faster, look for ways to build faster blockchains. Spent 2014 researching what's known as like classical Byzantine fault tolerance. I think I was the first person in the space doing that, and trying to repurpose classical Byzantine fault tolerance for the sort of decentralized blockchain setting. 2015, I was really, wrapped up with the early Ethereum community, and then there's this idea of world computer. I think the term first came about at the end of 2014, and I was very inspired by this idea, and I thought, look, of course, in the end, everything's going to be built on a blockchain, right? It's not just going to be tokens and NFTs. Everything's going to be on a blockchain, because when you build systems and services on a blockchain, they're tamper-proof, they're unstoppable. You can put them under the control of a DAO. So
I agree with Dominic. In the end, everything will be built on the blockchain. Your blockchain better be able to have stuff hosted on it at a reasonable price and at reasonable speeds. Otherwise, I think you may have a problem. So just let's listen to that again. And what's the reaction of the Solana president here?
Tokens and NFTs, everything's going to be on a blockchain, because when you build systems and services on a blockchain, they're tamper-proof, they're unstoppable. You can put them
I think it's funny. Maybe it's a coincidence, but it's
under the control of a DAO. So why would you build using traditional technology when you can build on a blockchain? And cybersecurity is, for example, just one issue, but that's one of the great issues of our time. As big an issue as climate change and war, I think cybersecurity is going to cost the world, or cybercrime, 10 trillion by the end of this year. So that's like a substantial...
5 sentences, yeah? You remember?
So anyway, long story short.
So he took all his time now.
Long story short.
1 second, what happened here?
You remember?
End of this year. So that's like a substantial...
5 sentences, yeah? You remember?
Anyway, long story short.
Yeah, people are having fun. So apparently, like, you have 5 sentences to talk, but we all know Dominic could talk about the Internet Computer Protocol and the future of blockchain, and listen, the future of the world, like, for days. I want to say everybody on this stage, they are the thought leaders of the crypto space, everybody's friends, I think, and there's a lot of respect going on this stage.
So he took all his time now.
We built this thing, originally Dfinity, the word came about in 2015. It was meant to be it was originally hoped to be a branch of Ethereum, but it became its own thing. It's the biggest R&D operation in crypto, has been consistently since end of 2017. Internet Computer incorporates more than 1,000 person years of R&D work. And today, it realizes this vision of a world computer. There are social networks that are built on the Internet Computer blockchain. They're not built in Amazon Web Services and just keeping some tokens on the blockchain. The whole thing's on the blockchain, and that's the Internet Computer.
Great, thank you very much. So.
That is true. Listen, this is going to make a lot of people uncomfortable to realize that what Dfinity is building is way ahead of everything else. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this discussion here develops.
In my simple sentences, the Internet Computer has other approach. So it has everything on the side. So there's no IPFS for files. Oh. There's no Amazon Web Services to run the cloud. It's a full-fledged thing, yeah? But at the end of the day, what I usually do, I compare you guys with Dubai as an infrastructure. You know why? You guys build great infrastructure, but if no one is coming and living there, and no one is coming and building on it, it's useless.
Having the infrastructure ready for the people who actually understand that it is necessary to have this infrastructure, and not only hype. Now she's happy. Yeah, actually, we have hype. So on Solana, what do you have on Solana? Now you have meme coins, you have Bonk, you have WIF, dog with hat. Yeah, congrats. Look at you, like big innovations. On the Internet Computer Protocol, the Dfinity Foundation is building the infrastructure for the future of the internet and the future of the world. And you guys have meme tokens. Pretty cool.
And the Middle East, Dubai works a little bit like the blockchains. It gives us security, which is nice, a secure life, secure transactions. It's scalable, or it should be scalable at the end of the day. And there need to be incentive mechanism to go there. In Dubai, the incentives are the good restaurants. We heard about Cipriani today. Probably the low taxes, the good weather, and some other stuff over there. I don't go too detailed into that, otherwise I get problems. But what is the best incentive mechanism, in your opinion, for every one of you to get more utilization on the infrastructure? I mean, we saw it before on the gaming side. This is one sector. But how do we get people really use what you built the last 10 years? Would you start?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that all fundamental shifts in technology will have to be grounded in real economic value. And so what makes blockchain interesting is that we kind of came up with our own economic value, right? We create all this value on these blockchains. And in the .com boom, it came from traditional venture capital. And that was really grounded in use cases and how you were going to sell more or create more, right? And so what is challenging has been identifying that economic value. Where are the savings? And it's been a grind, really, with enterprises because the regulatory environment isn't very favorable. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you have to try to convince them to adopt this very new technology, and it's hard to talk about the return on investment. Like, we know, those of us that are in Web3, we know how much blockchain can streamline compliance when you can trust some data. We understand how it can disintermediate transactions, but it's hard for the enterprise to actually visualize that and quantify it. So when you talk to the office of the CFO, it's hard for them to approve it, right? And so that's what we're seeing is really hard, is that discovery of those use cases, and those use cases that enterprise say, okay, I do this and I'm gonna save 10% of, and that's going to change my EBITDA in a material way. Therefore, I'll invest.
So a very corporate-ish approach behind, I would say.
That's what I think is going to happen to go mainstream.
And Solana is built on meme coins. So what is the story at the moment?
Crypto is based on meme coins.
Okay.
That is the truth. Listen, he made a joke, but that is the truth. So right now, what is Solana? Solana is the new Ethereum when it comes to meme coins. There has to be a place where, people go and gamble their money, and that is the utility of Solana.
And Ralph and I think you're just jealous, actually.
Absolutely.
We're all jealous of 100x's, but with the bull run, those will come everywhere.
I don't know how much bunk you have. But it's probably not enough.
That is fun.
You got me, Lily. You got me.
But in all seriousness, look, I think, first of all, of course, the use cases have to be 10x. No technology matters unless it's supporting a 10x use case. So therefore, to me, almost by definition, having these conversations oriented around enterprise adoption, X on a blockchain, in my opinion, are destined to fail because they're just not good enough, right? So I think there's that part. We have to really think about the 10x use cases and they don't exist today, right? So by trying to port something in the Web2 world, the existing world, putting it on a blockchain, it's just never going to be good enough. You have to have sort of start from a standpoint of first principles and think about if this is what we're trying to accomplish, it's going to be some combination of sort of faster peer-to-peer, direct access types of implementations of primitives, surrounding use cases that we generally sort of use today. As an example, AMMs, right? And then also the money markets. You could get a loan instantly, right? You could take, some basket of assets and fungify that, use that as collateral, and take a loan against that, which is something that you really can't do in the banking sector. So that's just like one example of, I would say, an application vertical that has some degree of sort of scale over the last couple of years. But beyond that, I don't think about blockchains as being companies. I actually think about them being cultures and civilizations. Cultures trying to become civilizations first and foremost. So we always focus first on, of course, the network, because no network, there's nothing for anyone to do. But then beyond that, always culture, community, and specifically developer communities. To me, the crown jewel of any L1 is an independent developer community. If you don't have a network, you don't have an independent developer community, you're going to last one cycle, that's it, right? And so for us, to me, if I even think one step further, why is that true in crypto? Is it because there's a distinct lack of use cases? Actually, kind of yes. So why do people keep on coming? What are people running from and seeking out in blockchain? In my opinion, what people are running from and seeking out in blockchain is essentially a hedge to a loss of faith in institutions, right? And a search for communities that they can more flexibly enter and exit and have some form of kind of an aspirational nature to them. And I don't think that that's something which is, I think that's inherent to crypto. I think that's an inherent part of Bitcoin at the beginning, Ethereum at the beginning. I think that is embedded in a blockchain and crypto, and I think it's something that you have to lean into, right? Because I think that is just the soul of what it is. And so for us, while we spend a lot of time thinking about sort of things in a professional structured funnel, like all of those types of things, metrics, so on and so forth, to me, all of that is necessary, but it also has to be attached to sort of why we're here and why we do blockchain to begin with.
I agree with Lily here. I think that just taking a Web2 business and getting it to Web3 is not enough. There has to be some utility, something that they would not be able to do in Web2. There have to be benefits for bringing your platform on Web3. And I'm very curious to see what Dominic will say about that.
Back to a sentence from you later on that is Bitcoin is freedom. But keep that for that. So you guys are doing a lot in the corporate stuff, a lot in the university level and so on. Where do you see the adoption coming for your network?
So not just our network, the industry as a whole. We know that there are use cases where it makes the world better, where you have a higher profit, you can do new kinds of things you couldn't do before. You said we don't want to just make a little bit better, but do whole new kinds of things. You need both. Because people take baby steps before they take the big things. So you have to do the little things and then also the big things. And we're seeing both. So we're seeing, for example, you can buy diamonds today, and you get them sent to you, and you pay import taxes. I just talked to a company tokenizing diamonds on Hedera. Why would anyone want to deal with tokenized diamonds? Well, you can do this where the physical diamond doesn't go to you, so you don't have to pay the import tax. You can be buying and selling across borders, and there's no import taxes. And you can fractionalize. And so somebody could buy $1 worth of diamond. You don't have to have a giant diamond because you can fractionalize it. And you can have the extreme speed and low cost of transferring without having intermediaries.
I think so.
Using the blockchain to have more transparency in various industries from the real world is very welcome because we have this huge transparency with blockchains. So let's see what Dominic here has to add and how the Internet Computer Protocol plans to change the world we live in.
Which are changing the world.
If you want to understand how blockchain is going to change the world, you really have to think in a much more fundamental way than looking at the latest meme coin or NFT, right? That's not going to get you anywhere. And blockchain is a very difficult space to understand because the networks that exist are kind of flywheels, right? Like people invest money and they pay developers to build on the chain, and then the press reports on the people building, and then the token goes up and they sell some more tokens and they can pay some more people to build. And you know, many phenomenons we've seen, behind the scenes, are driven by people who want to get people building on chains. If you're like me and you believe in blockchain singularity, it's a different kind of game, because you believe that the fundamental properties of blockchain will result in everybody building everything pretty much on a blockchain. And so then the question is, what are those really fundamental properties and drivers? And when back in like 2014, 2015, when I sort of kicked off Dfinity, I saw that smart contracts, the software that's installed on blockchains, is really a new kind of software, right? So it has properties that you just don't get and can't get any other way. Obviously, it's tamper-proof. There's no firewall protecting Ethereum, right? There's no seam logging. There's no security team. Doesn't need it. Smart contracts always run the code that's written against the expected data. You can make smart contracts autonomous in the sense that they can't be modified by anyone. They have an independent existence, or they're controlled by a DAO. So now,
sorry to interrupt you. I'm always impressed of the knowledge you're bringing, but you're very far away from my question now. Very far away.
Hold on.
Very far away.
No.
Because
wait.
we only have 3-4 minutes left, and we will not get there.
We'll get there. But the point is this.
So when the Solana president was talking about how much bonk you have and how many meme tokens you're buying, that is on topic. But when Dominic Williams talks about at a fundamental level how blockchain will change the world, all of a sudden is not on topic. The host here, he tries to be funny, but I think it's really unfair. I take back what I said. I think this guy is being a little bit unfair here to Dominic.
You ask, what are the massive use cases? Well, imagine you can build a social network with no security team, no infrastructure, which is tokenized. It doesn't get hacked. That's what we're seeing today, and that's transformative, and it's much more profound than, is it going to be meme coins or NFTs or something like that? Blockchains support a new kind of software called smart contracts, and if smart contracts are adapted in such a way that they can process unlimited amounts of data and computation and can serve web experiences directly into a browser, that will enable the creation of things that we can't even imagine, which are fundamentally different. So, for example, there are social networks on the internet computer that are controlled by DAOs directly through full automation because of the power of the actual blockchain. Even when you interact with them, the user experience is created by smart contracts that process HTTP. And these the community building that, using that technology is growing organically. So I think in the end, it's the fundamental power of the technology that will drive growth and create all these use cases that we probably can't even think of. It's not the use cases themselves. There's no specific thing you can point to. You've got to think about the power of the technology and what that enables. The platforms are what change the world, not individual use cases.
Great. My last question,
when crypto will stop being about speculation and about buying meme tokens to 10x or 100x your initial investment, in the case you don't lose all of it, when all this is going to end, it will matter who actually has the real tech and who actually brings the innovations to the blockchain space. Most of the tokens and most of the blockchains that are hyped now will not be here in a cycle or two, or by 2030. I think most of them will not be here. But guess who will? Those who actually innovate and bring something new to the table. I think those will be here for the long term.
Should answer with 3 sentences.
All right, well, go on.
We're coming back together. We're coming back together in January 2030, sitting here again. What did you achieve? Not you yourself, with Casper. What do you?
She won't be here. The Solana president will not be here. The Hedera guy will not be here. And guess who will be here? Is going to be Dominic Williams. And hopefully not even this guy here, the moderator. He's not going to be here anymore.
What do you think? What did you achieve?
Multiple products that leverage mainnet, that are adopted by the enterprise, right, out of the box, that solve real world problems, real use cases that the enterprise finds valuable, right? That's what we've cracked. That's the nut we've cracked, is we want to bring products to market that are meaningful and valuable that the enterprise will pay for, not beyond transaction fees, right? That they will use mainnet as part of their core infrastructure.
Great. And I hope we will discuss this in the Casper house then again.
Absolutely.
Good, good. Lily,
Yeah.
I believe you answer totally different, hopefully.
That's what I'm here for.
Let me guess. We're gonna have 10 more meme tokens. We're gonna have Solana phone number 5. Maybe we're gonna have a Solana Wi-Fi router or something. Let's see if I guess.
I think that I would like to see real sort of settlement and payments kind of related infrastructure. And what I really love to see is, we think DeFi is kind of all like buy-sell DeFi around a speculative use case. Obviously, the economy is denominated in payments and settlements, and I think there's a lot of DeFi to be built on that. So I would like to see a number of those actually be real scale, like supply chain networks, those types of things. I think that an L1 reaches immortality when you don't have a need for a foundation. So 7 years from now, I would like the foundation to not exist, and I would like to, that to me is immortality. Yeah,
Good.
for us to disappear. Yeah.
It's only 6 years, by the way.
Yeah, no worries. You will disappear. In 7 years, there will not be a Solana. Don't even worry about that.
It's only 6 years, by the way. But
give me an extra year.
Or at the start, so from 6 to 7. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think that blockchain will be mainstream 6 or 7 years from now. It will be because of the things that we're doing right now. And so the legacy that I would like to say is that Hedera really, by the people building on it and the real world things that it's been doing, was able to help make it mainstream. And so if we are mainstream, I would see that as the success of Hedera and the success of the platforms we see on this stage. And that's what I would say is success, is only, not if we built something cool, but if we really do have the whole world using it. And I am very optimistic that we're seeing that. We're seeing that.
Thank you very much. Dom.
3 sentences, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Wait, should I do it for you?
No. I'm gonna just
Google
Okay.
Cloud and AWS is the internet computer now.
that would work.
Okay.
One, rather than hundreds of projects on the internet computer, hundreds of thousands of projects on the internet computer. 2, cracking enterprise, and 3, hosting a substantial portion of the world's compute.
Great. Perfect. I would say thank you very much. Very insightful. And I love that you're so different.
Overall, I think this was a great discussion. Kudos to Dominic for not letting this guy annoy him. Listen, I thought he was a little bit disrespectful. If you guys think I got a little bit heated up, I apologize for that. Dominic didn't even flinch. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's confident in what he's building, and I think that shows. So we'll end here. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this panel? Do you think Dominic was being treated fairly? I would love to hear your opinion. And with that, we're done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.